Okay, so now I can see the cursor. Okay, so let's start with the balancing of the equation. This previous one was in the previous video. Just erase that. So let's start with this one. What I like to do is I like to draw this to divide the two sides from each other. On this side, my hydrogen, I have 2 because I see there's 2 in the subscript. Remember, what is standing in the front is the coefficient. Then I have my oxygen that is also 2. On this side, I see my hydrogen is 2, and let me just erase it. I want to see my hydrogen is 2 and my oxygen on this side is 1. How do I know it's 1? Because here the subscript is an invisible 1. And here the coefficient is also a 1. Let's take a highlighter and make it maybe yellow. If there's nothing there, there's always like an invisible or imaginary 1 because there's an oxygen but nothing is standing there. So there's always a 1 there. Okay, so let's go and count. I see already the oxygen is not balanced. So on this side, I like to take a different color so that I don't get confused. I multiply it with a 2 to get it a 2. Then I can never change the subscript. I can only change the coefficient. I can only multiply. So I multiply it by 2. That means it multiplies throughout. So then I need to multiply this 2 from the hydrogen also with a 2. And that will give me a 4. So now on this side, the hydrogen is not balanced. So what do I need to do to get it also 4? I need to multiply it by 2. So it will also be a 4. Then luckily, because I use my colored pen, I can see, well, I didn't write the 2 yet there. So I can write it there. So then everything is balanced if I check it. Let's go to our next one, iron oxide. Let's make it like this. That is a 3. Let's do it again. Because I took a screenshot of my previous video and just pasted it there. There's a 3. Okay, so let's go and count. There's not a 1 or 2 in the subscript, but I know there's an iron, so that must mean there's 1. Oxygen, there is 2. Iron on this side is 2. Oxygen on this side is 3. So let's quickly change my color. Let's do a blue. We did red there. So the iron I see already. I need to multiply it by 2 to get it to 2. So then I can write the 2 so long there. But then the hydrogen, remember, I cannot add or subtract or divide. And I can also not multiply with halves, with fractions or decimals. So I need to look at a common factor. So common factor here with this 2 is a 6. So what can I do with the 2 to get it to 6? I can multiply it with 3. Multiply it with 3. Then I write the 3 there on this side. I multiply the oxygen with 2 to get it to 6. And remember, that is a whole compound. So if I can't write it like times 2 there because I cannot change the subscript. I need to change it here at the coefficient. So that means I'm going to write the 2 there. But then if I write it there, remember, it's going to multiply with the iron also throughout. So that means it's going to be multiplied by 2 and it's going to be a 4. Then when I go and check, is it balanced? I would see that my iron is not balanced yet because I need to have it a 4. 4 iron on this side, 4 iron on that side. 6 oxygen on this side, 6 oxygen on that side. It is balanced, then I just go and erase my thing there. And then I can change my color afterwards if it's like a test paper. Okay, let's do that one. Let's maybe just want to make it a little bigger. Okay. Let's take my black pen So on this side is my sulfur, it is 8. It's my oxygen, oops, erase, that is 2. Sulfur on this side is 1, because there's nothing in front, nothing at the subscript, but if there's nothing, I know it's an imaginary one. Oxygen is 2. Okay. So here I see it's already 8. Let me just quickly change my color so I can multiply it with 8 there. But remember, I can't go and change my subscript. I can only change my coefficient. So I write an 8 there. That means it's going to multiply throughout. So that is going to mean that I need to multiply it with this oxygen as well. That's going to give me a 16. So here the oxygen is not balanced yet. So what can I do with the 2 to get a 16? I can multiply it with an 8. Give me 16. And the sulfur is already balanced. But now, luckily I wrote it in a color because I almost forgot to write the 8 at the top to change my coefficient there. But now I can see everything is balanced. So the tip is use a color. When I was at school, I liked to have like 3 colors in my pencil case, just in case I have to draw a graph, and it really came in handy with balancing chemical equations. So remember to like and subscribe for more scientific or biology subject like tips.